And we are live. And I hope so. So if people can see this, please write in the chat box that we are live in the
We
group.
are.
That would be amazing. Chat overlay. I don't understand what that is. Maybe
It's
that
saying
means
live here. It's saying live on my side.
yeah, good. I think we are live. I can see in my group too. It should say here somewhere. I have never streamed live from Restream to a
There's
Facebook group
one
before.
person on. I've just seen one person coming on. So
Yeah, good. Okay, now I see that we are live in the group too. So, thank you so much, Claire, that you want to do this live. So the scene is yours, as you say. The stage
thank
is yours.
the scene is yours. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And thank you so much for inviting me, Therese, and thank you for inviting me to the group. I'm really honoured to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to learn a lot more Swedish as well. So I apologise, first of all, for speaking English. I am looking at learning Swedish because now in this sort of business world that I am in, I understand that Swedish is going to be very important. And I'd like to respect that I'm in Sweden. So CSM, was it SFE, here I come.
Yeah, that's good. But you know Swedish. I can speak to you in Swedish. So
jag förstår svenska, men jag är inte så bra att prata. So
yeah.
welcome everybody. My name is Claire Rees, as Therese put in the comments earlier on. And tonight we're going to be talking about looking at getting connections, and from the connections to the sales. Now I'm saying sales tongue in cheek because I prefer to actually say to provide a service rather than sales, because when you say sales, it sounds very hard. We're going to be talking about soft sales, and by soft sales and soft skills, and by soft skills I mean that we're not going to go in there abrupt. We're not going to go in and speaking to people and be straight to the point. It's about building relationships, because people buy from people that they trust and love. Okay, so that's what the soft skills is all about. Do you know what? It's about being yourself. About being yourself. So, as I said, my name is Claire Rees, and I own 3 businesses, co-found 2 of them, and I'm the Intrabiz Sweden franchise director, and I am a co-author of an Amazon #1 best-selling book, of the awesome book called Inspiration Women of the World. And with that, there's 20 women actually got together, and we wanted to inspire the world, and we wrote about our stories. Some of them are stories, that are heartfelt, and we hit rock bottom, and how we've actually implemented our tools to work our way up and to be successful women, as business women. So we just wanted to share it with the world. So about getting connections, and I think this is something that maybe it's new as well, isn't it? Because we're on social media now, we're on Zoom meetings, and also it's the new normal now about connecting with people online, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to be able to connect with people online. Some of the business people I am working with right now, I've connected with them through social media, and my new business partner is from social media. We've met twice, but we actually connected through Facebook. If anybody thinks I'm talking too fast, or Therese, if you think I'm talking too fast,
Yeah,
please
no,
let me know.
I think it's okay. Otherwise, people should say something.
Yeah, so people
Yeah.
decide. So, firstly, think about your business. And when you actually write your business plan, or you start up your business, I may sneeze now, then, we've just had somebody saying, hey, Facebook user, hey. When you start thinking about setting up your business, Therese, what was the first thing you thought about when you start setting up your business? What was in your business plan, your first thing? Can you remember?
What was in my business plan? Just get started.
Sorry?
Just get started to get a client. I think.
To get a client, to get a sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like, okay, how do you even do, how do I come up with what to call it? How to come up with a product? How should I do? How do I get a sale? Yeah, that's very,
At
yeah.
any point did you think about yourself? Did you
No.
think about no who and this is a mistake. I made that mistake, and this is one mistake that I feel I just really love to get out there, and I want to share it with everybody, is that I didn't invest that time into myself. When I'd done my business plan and I put the budget in, there was no budget in there for coaches, for training myself, for finding out who I am, from finding out the people that I want to connect with. There was nothing in that. I've learned the hard way. I've learned that, I've learned as I've gone along. Now, your business, people are not buying your business because of your product. People are buying the business because of you. So to invest that time and energy into yourself is your number one priority before you sell your product, before you actually go out networking, is invest in that time in you. And if you can put aside, I highly recommend to look at a business coach. They can get a good business coach. They can get to the nitty gritty. They can look at the psychology behind why you're doing things. And they can save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of wasted finance as well.
Yeah, yeah, I've taken a business coach and stuff like that, and that's so valuable. And I remember being so lost in the beginning and like trying different things, and before I knew anything about myself, yeah, how can I, if I don't put the oxygen mask on myself, how can I help anyone else? So I like a business coach, they helped me to realized who I am first, and then okay, now we can go out to the marketplace and see what
Yeah,
kind of offers you can provide to people. Like, what do you
absolutely.
know? What can you do? Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like with our networking meetings that we go to, people don't come to my networking meetings because of Intrabiz. They come because of the way that I host those meetings. They're fun, they're dynamic. We can go off on a tangent sometimes. We focus on and we make sure that we focus on everybody that's in that networking meeting, and it's inclusive. So that's why people come to our meetings, because of the way that we actually deliver them. So I've invested enough time and energy into myself to know what I want in my business. So people want to connect and people want to help people. So that's why. So when you actually, if you've got that mask, in your business, it's going to show in your business. But what you find as well is that if you have got a weakness, and you strive to overcome that weakness, people always want to help. Okay, so they'll always want to help you if you're open, if you're honest, if you're showing who you are. This is who I am. This is what I'm vulnerable for. So people will always, the people that you want to connect with will always help. There are going to be takers. You've got to work out who are the givers and who are the takers. The takers straight away. It's like they connect with you on LinkedIn and they say, "Hi, I've got this offer on, and it's £20 and da 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 da," and then you go,
I'm so
"No,
tired of those. Yeah, it's so tired, and people just trying to sell you stuff. I'm like, you even know who I am? Do you even know that I do
I
this
have
stuff
a good tip
myself? Yeah.
for you. I have a really good tip for you, which I have done there.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
because this has happened, is that when I've been into business meetings as well, and all of a sudden at the beginning I was like, hang on, I'm here, I've called this meeting, I want to connect with you, and you're selling me a product. I was like, what? How did that
Yeah.
happen? Is that when you get those cold callers on the phone, I think it works well with my business, I think it'll work well with your business, or if you get a message, it's I always sell back to them. So it's like,
Mhm.
I've got this product, it's £20. So I message them back, well, that is amazing. I've got this network club membership. I'd love you to come along and we can promote you. But first of all, we have to make sure that we get to know you. And then the takers won't answer. So you get rid of them.
Yeah, that's excellent. I will do that because I'm so tired of those people. I'm like,
Oh
bye
yeah,
bye.
but you'll always get them. You will always get them.
Yeah.
And networking is about when you're actually networking, it's the soft skills networking. It's about, if Philip is your boyfriend's name, if you met Philip on the first date and he said, I want to move in with you and I want to share half a house and I want to buy a car with you, would you have said yes?
No, no, no. Of course, I wrote that in, or yeah, I
Did you
wrote
write
that.
that?
I think to my yeah, I wrote that to my email list the other day, but in a more uh like a little bit more. It's not just moving in. Like, do you really want to sleep with this guy? If you know, like in this first date, like that.
But
Yeah,
you wouldn't, would you? Well, some people would, but you know, we
yeah.
wouldn't. And that's just the same with business, is to get to know each other, and it's building that relationship. And when you're building that relationship, it could be something you could get on with each other, you could resonate with each other, but it may not be that you're going to do business with each other. But actually, by building that relationship with somebody, they go into love and trust you, and then they're going to recommend you to somebody else. So you're going to get something by building that relationship. And it's now in this day as well, is that there's all different types of networking. We can do the Zoom networking, which is amazing because you're talking with people all over the world. But to actually get those connections as well, you know, you've now got your marketing, haven't you, on social media. You've got, when you connect with people on social media, always have a hi message, and not, you know, and you know, let's have fika, let's connect, let's see if we can collaborate, let's see how it's going to work. Not everybody will answer you, but the people that will answer you, then have a meeting with them and see what happens. It's building that trust, it's building that relationship, inviting them to, like we invite them to some of our meetings, which are free to start off with. And that's okay. You can give a little bit of free. So it's all about the soft skills and building the quality in your the people that you're providing a service to, or your members, or whatever service that you're actually developing. So quality is much more effective than quality. And if you just think, you know, if you went into, and you went into sort of like a quick sale, you most probably can sell things like that, can't you? But then you might not sell again because you're not giving good customer service. But if you give good customer service, if you build that rapport with the customer, chances are it's going to be a quality relationship, and you're going to build that customer is going to come back. And not only will they come back, they will come back with more people. And that's what happened with us with the dog sledding. You know, with our dog sledding business here, we do hardly any advertising, but our guests keep coming back. But not only do they come back, they tell their friends. Their friends bring their friends. And there was this one year we had this dog, we called him Bilbo. He was the ugliest dog in the kennel. And four times different people came back, and they were like looking for Bilbo, because you realize that's word of mouth. That's where people are coming from.
That's so cute. Yeah.
It was actually really cute. And
Mm.
also these relationships that you're actually building. And when you go into networking events, and of course I provide networking events, and you know, if you go to any networking event, and this is one thing that I actually made a mistake of in the beginning. It's, I was speaking to people, I'm thinking, IT guy, I don't need you, you know. So but I didn't get to know that person. But at the beginning, when I was networking bad, because I only go 1 or 2 meetings, and then I'd miss a few months, and then I'd go to another one. Networking means that you're building relationships. So you can't go once or twice. You can't go on 2 dates. You have to go on 5 or 6. You have to get to know people. It's called as well a tomato theory. So tomato means top of mind attracts top opportunity. So when you're speaking with people, you are making sure that you are providing people with an experience so they will remember you. Now think of this. I'm that crazy Welsh lady with 80 dogs that live up in Ora. I'm not once seen, I'm never forgotten. That's my
Oh
tomato.
yes. Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh, no. You know, it's, I always get the question is that normal for Welsh people to actually live in Ora and run dogs? And no, it's not. It's completely off the wall in Wales. It's completely abnormal. But it's my tomato thief. I will get,
Yeah.
people will actually remember me. So it's that tomato theory. And I remember once there was this woman, and I could never remember her name when I first met her. I remember her as the hat lady, because she always wore these crazy hats. So that was her tomato theory. And then tomato hats, and she's coffee. Yeah, she sells coffee. Yeah, she sells amazing coffee, and she's really nice. So then now we're actually accountability buddies. So now every Monday morning we actually meet up, and she's sent business my way, and I've sent business her way. It
That's
just
amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it's so important to make connections, to know the people, and
yeah, you have
to
to know the people. And the other thing that that's really, really, really important is active listening.
yeah.
So I always say you've got, and I've heard it as when I read it and it resonated with me, you have 2 eyes, you have 2 ears, and 1 mouth. 2 eyes to watch, 2 ears to listen, and 1 mouth so you don't speak so much. So it's
Yeah.
active listening. So when you're getting to know somebody, it's listening to what they have to say. And this is where you will find out what their problems are. So then you can find a solution. So it's to solve a problem, to serve a need. So they could, for example, when I'm speaking to somebody, they could be saying, and it's the same for you as well, is that, yeah, I'm not very good at marketing myself. I'm not very good at marketing myself. So then what for my service then as a networker then would be, well, I can help you with your marketing. So you're listening, you're actively listening. And normally what I say as well is when people actually, when I speak to people and they say, oh, well, tell me what you do, Claire. And I say, well, it doesn't matter what I do. We can think about that later. Tell me about you. So then people can actually, they know that you're interested in them. So you're building that trust, but not only building that trust, you're actively listening and you're helping them. So that's the tomato theory. So you're helping them again. And the important thing as well, and we were talking about this last night with Paul Rees. He came on to our networking meeting and he gave a talk on the pitch and your pitch. So it's how.
Say that again. What was not the
Which
pitch?
was the pitch. So you pitch. It's how you
Ah,
actually.
the pitch.
The pitch.
Your pitch. Okay.
How do you say pitch in Swedish? Is it
Pitch.
pitch? Oh.
Pitch. In pitch. Yeah. Okay.
But also and we got quite confused there as well, because so many coaches will teach you how to actually pitch and they'll all have a different way of pitching. So what I say is you have to find your way that you actually feel you're comfortable in pitching, and then what actually works for you as well. And one of the things as well that we were saying last night was that sometimes people's pitches can say a prayer. It can be like a prayer. They say the same thing over and over again, and they're not changing. They're not changing their pitch to actually to their target audience, to the audience that they're in front of. So your pitch needs to be catchy. It needs to be helpful. That first sort of 10 seconds, because I don't know if you've been in networking meetings. My name is Claire and I am a networking, and then all of a sudden you've gone, I don't understand this, switch off. So that first
sure.
10 seconds has to be dynamic. And so you can wake people up and you can actually attract them. And also it's your voice.
Do you have any good like examples of a good pitch that you have heard somewhere, or do you feel that you have a really good pitch? Let's say.
For me as well, my pitch would actually be to start off with, for example, it's something along the lines of, it actually depends on where I actually am as well, and it depends what meeting I'm in. But your pitch should be about 160 words, and 160 words then is 60 seconds. So first of all, the beginning of the pitch then is something dynamic. So it's like something for you. So and something you can resonate with. So for example, I would say, you know, I have spent years with lack of confidence and feeling useless and feeling exclusive. My name is Claire Reese, and I want to help you build your confidence, feel inclusive in our business. Our business is Intrabiz Sweden, and we're a networking company, and we actually connect businesses to businesses. In our events, in our business events, we make sure that people are inclusive, they get heard, and it's a dynamic business, and we are giving people, and we like to help people. Something along those lines. So it sort of resonates with people, you know, and there's different versions of pitches out there. So you just have to look at what, and what I've done actually, I've created a private Facebook group for myself. It's just me, myself, and I, nobody else.
Okay, and what do you do there?
I practice my conversations. I practice. It's really difficult for me. I want to be looking there, and I know I'm looking at the crowd there, aren't I? But you're there as well, so I'm talking to you. And that's something I need to, that's my weakness. I need to work on. I need to look at the audience, but you're there, Tracy.
Yeah. Yes, I'm there. Yeah, you need to look in the camera. Now are you in my space?
I'm actually talking to you, and I should be actually looking at the camera. But then you feel as if like, so that's my weakness. I need to work on that. I really need to.
But why a Facebook group, and why not just put up the camera and look at yourself?
Because I can record it, and I can always come back. So I do a Facebook Live on myself.
Yeah, but you can record it on your phone. That's the same thing, and you can look at it.
Just because I want it on my laptop, I want to sit there with my laptop because that's what I work with. It's what works with everybody, for everybody, isn't it? You know. And sometimes as well, I want to make sure that the Zoom will work when I stream it live. And like with one stream now that we're on, I want to make sure, you know, the products work as well. So if I go out on a live, I want to make sure all that works as well. Because that's the worst thing, isn't it? When you actually come to a live and you press play and it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's not funny. So stressful.
No, and that happened with my first live. I remember doing it with Sarah Nystrom, and I left it up on my Facebook because I don't mind making mistakes either. Because a failure is a first attempt in learning, and if you don't make mistakes, it means that you haven't actually made an effort. You know, so you have to make mistakes because they're your biggest learning tool by making mistakes. So it's really important actually to make mistakes, because otherwise you're not learning. And then we were talking about, so you built your relationship, you know, and so it's this thing about sales as well, isn't it? It's this, my husband doesn't realize I'm on a live right now.
Oh, but you are the crazy dog lady. So it's okay.
Dogs. And so we talk about sales as well. But if you have it in your head that you're providing a service, then that way then you can help people rather than actually selling. So it's the two ways, isn't it? Of there's the two things: is providing a service, and then it's actually sealing the deal as well. So, and that's one thing that people find difficult. So you're not a seller anymore, you provide a service, okay? And you're not getting on people's nerves by contacting them more than once. You're actually showing that you care about them because you want to provide them with a service. So this is the issues I think a lot of business entrepreneurs have, is that they'll connect with somebody, they'll have a fantastic meeting, and that person said, yeah, really interesting, fantastic, I'll think about it. Now, what you've got to realize, when somebody thinks about it, number one, you haven't given them enough information. So you need to provide them with more information. And number two, maybe you haven't found out what their what their problems are, so you haven't solved them. So that's what you do during your conversation. So then if you still go on to the conversation and they're cutting it, so you haven't you've built that relationship, and it can take half an hour. Some relationships can take half an hour to build, and you can go straight in. It's that listening and hearing things. Some people just want to talk about the business, they just want to go straight into it, and that's fine too, but then it's that sealing that deal, isn't it? That's sealing that deal, and it's like, well, this is all the information. How do you feel about that? It's not, are you interested? How do you feel about that? You normally get a good answer back. So then it can be, well, I need to think about it. That's fine too. And I don't like to push people any more than that. I need to think about it. So what I do then is I'll say, okay, but I'll contact you. You always tell them you're going to recontact them. And you make sure you make a note, and you make sure that you do recontact them. I've got a CRM system called HubSpot. So I write all my notes in there so I can actually recontact people. And then after that meeting, and you've put the phone down, or you've put the Zoom down, whatever, you message that person and saying how wonderful it was that you had a meeting with them. So they feel special. To be honest with you, this is not even manipulating the situation. This is how I am, and this is what I like to do anyway. So it's like, thank you for an amazing meeting. I can't wait to connect with you next week. And I can't. I love talking, as you can tell. And I can't wait to reconnect with you next week. But what sometimes happens in the meantime is that I'm thinking about that person. And this has happened a few times. And a day or two later, I'm thinking, hang on, they said this. I can help them with that. So then all of a sudden I'll message and I'll say, I've been thinking about you today, and I got a solution for your problem, and then I'll solve it. And then you've sold them, because you've thought about them, and you've been caring, and you've been kind, and and that's how you soft sell. And then I give myself about 3 times of a sort of a pitch to people, to invite them to events. I love traffic light systems. So I have a red, yellow and a green. So if somebody's really not interested, it's a red. If they we're building a relationship, it's a yellow. And if they want to buy, then it's a green. So so then I will actually connect them, and I'll invite them to a few more events, or I'll say, oh look, should we meet up? And then sometimes people won't answer you. That does happen. You don't get answered. But this is where you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid of reconnecting. It's like, give it a couple of weeks, put it in your CRM system. Oh, they didn't answer, but contact them in 2 weeks' time. And you contact them in 2 weeks' time and they don't answer. Now think about the ways you can actually contact people. You've got a phone, you've got social media, you've got email. Hopefully one day we'll have face-to-face. And we've just had another Facebook user saying hello. I don't know if you can see their names.
I can see on Facebook what the name is. Johanna.
Johanna. So you've got about 5 or 6 different ways of contacting somebody. So it's not getting on their nerves. Now, what I do when I think, do you know what, this person, it's going cold, and I will say to them, I'm really sorry to bother you, and if I'm making a fool of myself, then I'm really sorry. I'm just that I care a little bit, and I just feel that this project is amazing for you. But just let me know if you don't want to know, and I'll stop bothering you. Now, 2 things will happen. They'll either ignore you again, so you don't bother. Well, the other thing is they'll say, I'm really sorry, I've been so busy. And do you know what? Thank you so much for keeping on to me. I really wanted to connect with you, but I just haven't had the time. And that's what I think of. Just because somebody doesn't answer doesn't mean that they don't want to know. It means that we're all busy, that other phone calls. Now, how many times have you gone to send an email? Somebody will say something and off you go, and then you forget to send that email. How many times did that answer to you?
So many times,
So many
all the
times,
time,
you know?
like everywhere.
So many things
Yeah.
going on. So that's that person, you know, they've got so many things going on. So then they will reconnect with you. Let's meet up, and what do you think of the product? And then sometimes it's giving them a couple of little freebies. And when I say freebies, it's freebies that's not going to take your energy, but it's freebies that you can afford to give. And this is what you have to find out, because sometimes freebies can take so much of your energy, but you have to feel what's your worth. What is your freebie? So you can give a couple of freebies, and then so that you can prove that your service is really good, and then eventually it's gonna happen. I have had this guy, and I've been conversing with him and everything for about 8 months, little messages back and forth, and a couple of meetings, and eventually then it took me 8 months. But I knew we had this great dynamic going on, and it was fabulous. You know, sometimes I've had a member who I actually saw them on a different networking event, and he he stopped the actual whole event. Said, "There's Claire. I want to connect with you. Yeah, I want to become a member." You know, so they can happen instantly, or it can take time. But for me, it's all about the soft skills, building the relationships that actually work, and finding out who you are, and finding out, you making sure that you know your worth. And something I'll end with this as well is just remember, you are the best at what you do, and make sure that you actually believe it, because there's no other Therese, there's no other Claire, and we are the best that of what we do, and we have to really believe that, because that resonates then, and that builds trust with our with our potential members, or people that we provide the service to.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Really good. And that part is so important to really, believe in yourself and
Yeah,
know your worth. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
But
yeah.
but I am going to put a little pitch in as well. So what I've done just for May and June, if anybody wants to come to any of our networking meetings, they can come to 2 for free, which we're quite happy to. We're a fun group. Some people from Wales. So even though we're a Swedish business to business networking membership, we actually connect with people from the UK as well. So this morning, yes, Wednesday, we had a few crazy Welsh people on there. That's fine. So we can have 2 free. They come to 2 free events, so they can see what's happening. And then if anybody buys a membership between May and June, I'm giving just 6 months. Normally we have to buy a full year. I'm giving them 6 months, and now my figures are my weakness. I can't remember exactly how much it was. I think it was something like 1,800 kronas for 6 months, instead of 7,000 kronas for the whole year. So that's my offer for May and June.
Yeah, that's really good. And I know that you're such a lovely group and we have such a good connection. And that's why I like Claire. You really have to take this shot. And yeah, I really, yeah, when me and Philip was up to you guys and we, yeah, was filming with you and and the dogs to our YouTube channel. You're just so lovely.
Oh, thank
And
you
yeah,
so much.
yeah, and I've been to your
People,
events
you
and
see, and that's the thing as well, and it depends on what your avatar is as well, and what your business is that if I didn't like people, then I wouldn't be in this work. But I love helping people. I love helping
mm,
people solve their problems. I love helping people. I love giving people the tools to see their worth and to build them up so they're successful. It doesn't mean money successful, you know. So it depends successful in what you think is successful. And I'm very good at seeing that somebody's hiding something from me and wheedling them out.
yeah, but yeah, you are a person that everyone should have in their network. Because yeah, you always, get back to people and always checking in and like, yeah, I was thinking about you,
Yeah,
and like, you did this should really work for you. Did and like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. And we always think about each other. Also,
absolutely.
I also send you stuff and you send me stuff, and like, yeah, this is really good for you. Did.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you guys
And
have,
that's how it works. And all those things come completely natural to me. It's a natural process for me. So I
yeah,
really,
for me too.
and when things happen naturally, you just have to think. When somebody asks you about what you do, you really have to sit down and write. Like I've had to write some notes because you really have to sit down and write your notes because it comes so natural that you don't really know how you do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Just
but that's a really good skill. Yeah. So I'm really grateful to have you in my network and really take your the people who are on this call. Make sure you go to one of your network events because they are really good and yeah, a lot of energy and stuff. Wonderful
wonderful
companionship.
companionship. Thank you so much. I can only
Yeah.
see Facebook users. You can see the name. So thank you.
Johanna. Yeah.
Oh, Johanna.
Johanna. Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me on. And I look
Yeah.
forward to connecting with all the women in the Facebook group. Um,
Yeah.
and forgive me if I answer things that are a little bit off the wall. It's just because maybe I've misunderstood the Swedish, but I'm going to try my best. I'll read it in Swedish and I'll answer in English at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, but that's really good. So thank you so much for being on here.
Thank
I'm
you.
super sick, so I just
Oh,
put out
go
up
back
some
to bed
makeup.
now.
Yeah, I found a series I'm going to watch today. So I never watch TV, but today I'm going to sign up for a membership on Discovery Plus and see some some see a new series. So
Just give yourself the rest of the weekend. Just relax, and then
but already been, laying like
but now
I can't be in bed anymore.
you need to recover.
Yeah, I need to recover. So thank you so much, and yeah, I'm really grateful to have you in this community too. And yeah, make sure everyone connects with Claire. Okay, are you finished now? Should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Krya på
Oh,
dig?
somebody says krita på dig,
Krya på dig.
Therese.
Ja, tack så mycket, tack så mycket. Så okej, tack så jättemycket för idag. Thank you so
Varsågod.
much. Have a great evening and take care of everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.